Hey sis, welcome back. If you're interested in seeing how I achieved today's eyeshadow look, then just continue to watch. Alright guys, so the first thing you want to do for this eyeshadow look is of course prime your eyes. Now everyone primes their eyes a bit different. I like to use concealer to prime my eyes. So for today's concealer, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This is in the shade Medium Beige, and I love this to use as my base because it is a bit too light to use just for my highlight. So I like that it's very light for my eyeshadow base. I do suffer with pretty dark eyelids, so this just works perfectly for me. So I'm going to be using 3 different eyeshadow palettes today just because there's a different color in each. So I have my Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette. So this is what it looks like. And in this palette, I'm actually going to be using this as my transition color. And then I'm also going to use the Makeup Revolution Ultimate Nudes palette. So it looks like this. And I'm eyeing this brown shade here. And then last but not least, I'm going to be using my NYX Perfect Filter eyeshadow palette. And I really love this gold shade here. So there's a color from each palette. So if you do see me using a different palette, that is why. All right, so from my Huda Beauty palette, I'm gonna dip into this shade here, and I'm gonna use that as my transition shade. And of course, I'm taking my fluffy blending brush. This is what you wanna use every time you are going in with your transition color. And if you haven't seen my eyeshadow, my previous eyeshadow tutorial, your transition color is always right above your crease. So you wanna make sure you're applying this shade right above your crease. You wanna make sure that you are using circular motions to blend this out. This is just gonna allow the color to really diffuse. You don't want it to be too harsh. You want it to have like a really nice blended look. So just using this kind of motion just really helps you blend out that eyeshadow. So now I'm going into my Makeup Revolution's eyeshadow palette, the Ultimate Nudes palette, and I'm gonna take my more tapered brush. So this is more pointed towards the tip, and this is just gonna help me apply my crease color. And for my crease color, I'm going in with this deeper brown shade. I'm gonna dip into that, tap off the excess, and I'm gonna find where my crease is. My crease is usually where, not usually, all the time actually, where the fold is of your eyes. So you just want to place that in that area, and I like to pack it on first. So I just pack it on directly in the crease, just like that. So you guys could clearly see where I put the crease color and where my transition color is. So I'm gonna take my transition brush again. I didn't put any product on it, and all I'm doing is diffusing that harsh line between those two colors. And all I'm doing is using circular motions to do that. So you see how that really blended out that color. I'm gonna go back in with the tapered brush and just keep applying. You can do this about 2 or 3 times just to really build that intensity and just allow it to really pop if you want a really nice smoky eye. I just applied that, went back in with my blending brush and just diffuse that harsh line. Windshield wiper motions is good as well. All right, I'm gonna go back into my Huda Beauty palette, and I was eyeing this dark shade. We're gonna use one more shade in the crease. So I'm gonna take my crease brush, dip into that, dust off the excess, and I'm actually just focusing this on the outer V. I want a really nice smoky eye going on, so we're just gonna pack that right on the outer V. When you're dealing with really dark shades, you always want to just start off with a little, and then you could always go back in and pack on the color if needed. So again, with my transition brush, we're just gonna blend that out. Let me know what you guys think of my eyeshadow tutorials. If you guys really enjoy this, I honestly do not mind doing more of these tutorials for you guys. So let me know. And if you do like them, let me know what kind of eyeshadow look you would want to know how to do. All right, so we got our transition shade down. We have our crease shade down. So what's next is the lid shade. So I'm gonna go into my NYX Perfect Filter palette, and we're gonna take that gold shade. Now, usually I would cut my crease, but I think I wanna do a separate video for how to really cut your crease. So that is gonna be a separate video. Right now, we're gonna do a very simple way of doing this type of eyeshadow look. So we're gonna take that gold shade here, and we're gonna go in with a flat brush. So it should look something like this. This is what's gonna help you pack on the gold shade all over the open space on your eyelids. So I'm gonna dip into that, and all I'm doing is packing it all on this space here. I'm not going to bring it all the way to the end. I'm actually going to stop here because we want that smoky effect to still be present. So we're just going to dab that on. And this is really pigmented. And what you're really essentially doing is following that line where your crease is. All right, so I stopped right here. Now I'm gonna go back in with my crease brush. So that's the more tapered brush. And I'm gonna go back into that dark brown shade from the Makeup Revolution palette. This one here, I'm gonna dip into that, dust off the excess, and we wanna get rid of that harsh line. So all I'm doing is dragging that across, and that's just gonna give a nice blended look as if they're transitioning into one another. All right, so you could choose to leave your eyeshadow like this. You could do a liner, you could apply lashes. Liner and lashes is where I'm headed. So I'm gonna do a quick liner, and I'm just taking a regular Kajal liner and just making one stroke. I don't think I wanna do a wing, but we're just gonna do just a very thin line across the lash line. All right, so I have my liner down. I'm gonna quickly pop on some lashes. And if you are just new to my channel and haven't seen my updated lash tutorial, I do have one on my channel. I'll leave it in the cards above so that you guys can check it out. All right, so we got our lash on. This is a very dramatic lash. It's very full towards the end, so I love that it just complements this eye look. All right, so we're gonna move on to the bottom part of this eyeshadow look. An eyeshadow look is never complete if you don't finish up this part here. So just like I did the top, I'm gonna apply my liner to my waterline. So now for the eyeshadow for the bottom part, I'm gonna go in with this brush here. It's called a shader brush. So a shader brush could be angled like this one, or it could be just straight across. This is just gonna help you apply the eyeshadow to your bottom lash line. So I'm gonna go into my Ultimate Nudes palette and take that same brown that I used as my transition, and we're going to just apply that across the bottom lash line. And then to really smoke out the bottom lash line, I'm gonna go into the dark shade from my Huda Beauty palette, and I'm actually gonna focus it on the outer part of my eyes, just like I did the top, just so that we got a bit of smokiness going on the bottom lash line as well. And then of course we have to finish up the bottom lash line with some mascara. So I'm gonna go in with my Clarins Wonder Perfect 4D mascara. We're just gonna apply this to the bottom lashes. All right, so you could literally leave your eyeshadow like this, or you could brighten up the inner corner. I think that's what I'm gonna do today. So I'm gonna go into my NYX palette, and I'm gonna take this shade here in the corner, and we're just gonna put this in the inner tear duct. So this is the area we call inner tear duct, and this is just going to really brighten up the eye look. Just like that. And I use the same flat brush that I used for my lid space, my lid color. And just like that, we just brightened up that eye look. All right, so this is the finishing look. So this is an eyeshadow look that you can do for a birthday, even a wedding that you're invited to, any type of special occasion. This is an easy eyeshadow look that you can achieve in less than 10 minutes. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please subscribe if you haven't already. And if you haven't checked out my recent video, I did a full tutorial using drugstore makeup. I'll leave it on the screen right here so you could check that one out. And that is about it. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.